I should go log in. I haven't logged in a few days. You've made a lot of progress.
Funny thing is, you haven't even seen the progress on this yet. Voice call, chat rooms, followers.
Oh yeah, you saw my message on that other thing. Will you copy that and email it to me?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Here's the books we got working. So I started writing a book, how to write in C.
All right, let's
Courses.
save. Wait, hold on. Save this. We're going to talk about this with
I'm not going to show it though in this webinar because part of it's not where I need it to be. I can't predict if it's going to run into anything.
I appreciate
I was just showing you like that's what's up.
All right, hang out another couple minutes. We'll get started.
Yeah, I'm still getting some messages for links. People are asking, so let me make sure I get these delivered. Let me. I'm sending out one more text to Keem, but if you want to start in about 2 minutes, get some more people.
We'll hang out for another couple minutes. I'll jump in and get started, do the intro, and pass it off.
All right, Keem, if you want to start off now, it'll be good.
All right.
Oh.
Yep. What up, everybody? Hello, welcome to our weekly AMA community forum where we talk to people about Avocadata and the surrounding ecosystem that we've been working on. That, as you've started to discover by now, really includes a full suite of really amazing tools for both sourcing data and managing data and projects and teams and all kinds of other things around what you do to monetize this stuff. So I'll say this, I say it every week, but it's like one of the most important things to me, which is the way that we improve the ecosystem is by your engagement, your feedback, your questions, your comments, your challenges, the things. Reach out to us, whether it's in these AMAs, raise your hand or drop your questions in the chat, or whether it's just midweek or, whatever on the weekend and you have an idea, drop us a message, submit a ticket. We'll do our best to get back to it rather quickly. We will address everything in these AMAs. We urge you not to wait till the end to ask questions, because it's really important. Your questions inform how we improve all these tools and this ecosystem. So my name is Hakeem Draper. I am the Chief Strategy Officer here at Avocadata, along with Brian, our founder and CEO. We show up every week. We engage with the community and we have these conversations. And with that, I'm going to pass it off to Brian, who's going to get into some of the latest and greatest of what we've been up to.
Yes, and I'm going to jump right into some of the new apps we have put out that are all accessible today. So for the last few months, we've been working on a more targeted approach to how we would be able to directly target homeowners that were in storm areas without having to really do much telemarketing and outbound, and trying to limit the amount of that you actually have to do. So we have a lot of databases that are of various intent signals. So some of them might be roofing, some of them might be windows, remodeling, you name it. There are hundreds at this point, if I'm being real about it. So you can see all the databases that are intent driven in the marketplace under old databases. So roofing, I'm in the wrong one. Let's get it to load. So like roofing, there's 25 right now. Pest control, there's 9. Modeling, there's 16. Windows, there's only 2 right now. But you name it, we can put any of these types of things in there. And when you couple that now with the weather data app that's called Noaa Data, you're able to really narrow down who it is that you are targeting within those lists of 500,000 people. And to look at different storms that happen. So I'm going to go do an update on the newest batches of storms. So it's updated as of 12:05 p.m. And I'm going to go load in my scraper. So this is going to get all of the measurements from all the alerts. So it's calculating wave height, inches per hour of rain, hail, flood, stage, you name it. If it is a number, a direction, or a characteristic of an event happening, it is getting mined. So if we go take a look at our alert calendar, actually I'm going to go to alerts right here. So within the alerts tab, you have a few views. You can see every alert within a specific time frame. So this one is August 20th, 8:56 a.m. in San Francisco. Small craft advisory. Nothing that many people would care about for any of the services that are typically offered from you guys. So I'm going to go just look at rain. And we can see coastal flood statement. So maybe if you are an insurance adjuster, that can make a lot of sense because now you can target different areas. So now we have the Hurricane Aaron, and they're going to, Virginia and Wakefield is going to get tropical storm-like winds. So we can also see in here, if we click into the detail, that detail didn't look. I have to figure out which path worked. 1 second. So all the alerts load within different map segments that you can visualize. So when you click into any particular state, you are able to, where is it gone? My screen's freezing. live TV. One moment. So, little technical difficulty, but this would load into the specific state. And I'm going to open a different version real quick, just so I can actually continue what I was doing. And Keen, you want to pick up for a second, answer any questions maybe? No? Okay. So I'm going to go skip forward just because save some time and I'll let this other thing load up in the meantime. So within here under the radar view, we're able to actually see the storms that exist at the moment. And what we can do within this section is we can actually draw polygons. So if we see this area has some pretty crazy storms, we can draw our polygon around the perimeter of where we want to get the addresses. So all of this will generate a CSV of the actual addresses. So it's fetching the area drawn. I found 30 addresses that it downloaded. And I'm also going to save this screen. I can name it, I don't even know what part of the country we're in. We'll call it webinar saving, August 20. Oh, I can't spell. I'm going to go open that spreadsheet in Avocadata. I'm going to go over to the white label section while that's finishing saving. And I'm going to add a new database. So this database will be storm area August 20th. Don't worry about the pricing. Right now, this is just used for building your own enrichment. And in the future, you'll be able to sell it. Well, you can still sell it, but there's no concise way currently. And I'm going to open those addresses real quick. I have the name of the address. And I'm just copying and pasting the exact columns that exist. And then the next couple of weeks, this will all be automated, so you won't actually have to build the tables. You'll be able just to send the addresses that were in the Polygon over to Avocadata, and you'll be able to enrich it to the contact info. So the reason why I'm doing this right now is I want to find the contact info of all the people that live in these houses. So step one, we figured out the addresses, 30 addresses from the specific storm that we were looking at. And now we have to obviously find who to contact there. It's no good if we can't contact them. Some people will actually do direct mail over to all these people. They've found that very lucrative, especially in real estate, or let's say there was a big storm, people trying to buy the homes because there's no insurance in the specific area, like notably Florida. So I am going to save this sheet and get ready to upload it. And if you do decide to build your own tables, you can clone them. So you will never have to rebuild it like we are again. Oh, let me delete that. So we have our database created. going to go pick the file that we got from the Noaa application. So the columns have to match up exactly. So right now I'm trying to see what I have to change on that. Display name, longitude, latitude, house number, state, county. Display name, house number, extra. Okay, so there's an underscore here that needs to be there. So I am going to go back into the spreadsheet and add an underscore between the display name and between the house number. Very, very technical. Usually when things seem like they're not working, it is user error, but we're here to help. And then we have our addresses that exported. There's 41 of them. We have the longitude, latitude, and we have all the roads broken down pretty cleanly, so we can enrich in quite a few different ways. So we can go click our upload data. I think it will go pretty quickly. Let's see. I can go to my account. Add that to my account. Now I'm going to go back to my dashboard and I'm going to go save the leads that were in my storm damage right here. So I have my 41 leads, nothing changed. Buy, save list, just like you would at any other point. Nothing changed here. It's going to email this to you, but don't worry about that. The whole point of this was to attempt to get the contact info of these people. So within here, you have a internal enrichment button. And this internal enrichment button, when we click it, we can now select what database we want to enrich the information to. Over the next couple of weeks, we're still working on it on a slow process. Every one of these databases will migrate. So you'll be able to enrich against not the 36 million records in the business professional database, but a total of 400 million records across all of Avocadata to increase the match rate. So we have our address right here. I'm trying this live, so we might want to do it a few different ways. Let's see what the 41 doesn't match a single person. We'll let that take a few minutes. So in that instance, it didn't find anyone's contact info. So the other option in the short term, you can click this internal enrichment button. And you'll be able to actually enrich how you want the addresses to a specific phone number. So we just took the address, sent it to a third-party application, and it costs 10 cents each to do this. And when they send it back, it's going to have the phone numbers and the addresses and the family members of who lives in the home. It takes a couple hours to come back. And what I'm going to do actually with the internal enrichment, just for testing purposes, I'm going to go see if this address, the city, or actually, no, we'll look at the postal code. So let's take a personal zip. It is possible as well that I have to format the Excel data from these so that way it matches the same format as the records in the system. But we'll put together a tool that automates it so now there's no manual process in the future. But as this is going, it should be generating a CSV of the matching postal codes. And we'll let that run. And I'm going to go back over to the weather so we can see our saved view right here. And we're able to see these are the addresses that were pulled. You'll see there's a bit more because this factored in businesses. So when the export is happening, it's only taking the addresses, not the businesses, and definitely not the prisons. I just saw a prison. Huh, there's a prison there. And as part of the white label, this is all part of the $8.99 plan. Your users for now won't be able to log into this on a white label, but you will be able to get them the data, send it to their brick, and then they can move that to their Go High Level or whatever other CRM. And if we jump back over to the enrichment of the Noaa data, we can see we actually did find results. So I'm going to look for the name of everybody. And I'm going to look for the wireless. I'm going to look for the mobile. I'm going to look for, what else do I care about? Homeowner, that's probably important. Go for the age, because maybe within this download, their kids will be there and we can just quickly remove them if we see they're 24. And I'll take the B2B phone because this is actually a good phone number. All these other phone numbers, personal phone, direct number, company phone, just ignore all of those. I personally wouldn't use any of them if I were you guys. And I'm going to get the person's LinkedIn too. And net worth. That can be important. Do personal zip, personal address. So let's go see what addresses they're at. So we have their personal email. I'm going to make sure I get that. I'm going to mark it to their Shade 256s as well. And I lastly want to get the personal address. Personal city, personal state. So when you're all said and done and you've selected the columns you want to get added. So what that means is if one of these rows match this database, we will build a new spreadsheet with these exact columns added to the previous spreadsheet. So if you wanted to make sure all the job titles were included of the homeowners, you could do that. You have the full flexibility to adjust this. And actually, I am going to put the landline because there's older individuals. A lot of the time, people like to reach their landline. So when we hit apply join, we added all the different columns that were associated with those matches. So all of this information will load in after you save it. So we can go off, click save list. We'll name it enrichment to contact info of homeowners. And then this will take a few minutes, but it will email to you. And you can re-access any of those lists through here. So it'll take a few minutes. Like I said, for this one, that was going to the external source. This is the internal source. We did deliberately make it go really slow, just so if people are doing it, it does not crash our system. I think it processes about 20 records a minute for now. So yes, it is very slow, but slowly but surely we will increase the bandwidth that goes to this. Also within the weather app, we have a few other ways we can track some things. seconds to load because there's a lot of alerts. The cities. Okay. So we have a nice view of where alerts are in the last, this would be the last 48 hours that it's showing. No, 72 hours. So we can go in and segment any of these. So we can go into this polygon and see, all right, these are the alerts that were in the last few days within those areas. These are green. We probably don't care about this. And let's go take a look at that red one. So we had a flash flood warning, and I'm gonna actually load the other one because I really want to show the details and I opened the wrong one. So any questions right now? We just went through a lot. There's a lot of new stuff within this. So raise your hand, drop a question in the chat, and let's get a few questions going.
I see a hand raised. What up, Bill? How you doing?
Hey, how are you, Hakeem, Brian?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Haven't heard from you in a few days.
Well, yeah, a little craziness going on, but it's all good there. What I'm wondering on this, and I've played around with it on some and all, are we going to be able to filter out different alerts? Like say I had different clients and stuff that were interested in just certain weather alerts dealing with,
Yes.
you know,
So
thunder.
I'll jump into that. So this what I wanted to show in here was that we're factoring out all of the potential measurements that you would find within any of these applications.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to get lucky. I'm not going to find the version I want. I'll deal with it later. But within the alerts, you can make rules.
Okay.
So you can select what rules you want your alert to be based off of. And those rules will determine, do you get the lead sent to you or not? So if you have different clients that only want things that are in certain areas and they only want an email to let them know, you would be able to forward those leads in real time. Real time being when you drew the polygon, quite frankly. You have to draw it as the admin to get it to send over to them. And you have a lot of research tools, right? There's a lot of research tools. So within this research center, you're able to track all the different alerts by state, by county, by city, and by the storm specifically, like you were asking, Bill.
Yep. All right.
And you get a nice little view, so that way, if you're trying to just drill into maybe hailstorms or drill into the maybe flooding and stuff, you'll be able to just click right into there and navigate in. I think I logged out. Let me log out and log back in because my computer is not loading. And so you can follow storms, you can track storms, and put all these as leads for yourself. So you'll be able to sell territories like you were seeing the segments on this original map. You can have clients pay you directly for those segments, and you would be able to make it exclusive just to them, and they would be able to see everything that you're doing for them. And what I mean by that is right here. So if someone wanted to buy this whole coordinate, this is an area, longitude, latitude. That longitude and latitude would include all of this. So parts of New Mexico, Colorado, Salt Lake City, Wyoming. And right here is this Kansas. No, this is Davis. What state is that? But within here, we can see that this would include this alert too. So there's about 1,000 and about 300 to 600 alerts a day across the whole country.
What I found good is the switching the view on that, because it's really hard for the territories and stuff on it. So I don't know. Like I said, I missed the first bit, so I apologize everyone over
No,
it.
no worries. Yeah, I'm gonna make some more videos on the navigation. I started removing a lot of these tools, and now that I think about it, I know what the version I'm looking for is.
You
So
always do, buddy.
yeah, so that we're slowly putting out just to a few people. If you're interested, just drop a comment below, and we can have Akeem reach out. Now, let me get into the version that I was really looking for, because I know I'm going to spend a few minutes doing this. Akeem, or Bill, any other things you comment, questions to?
No. I got I was just wanted to bring that up there. Everything it's quite a beast. It is very amazing on that. So we'll get together.
Excellent. Okay. So I'm going to jump into the directories now. The directories we're finally fully done with. So we have roofing. We finally just redid the entire roofing company near me. If you remember, it was pretty boring and crappy and didn't really do much other than generate a lot of traffic, but didn't really generate too many appointments, because the call to actions on the site were terrible. And you'll see in other videos, I can't even load up the old version, thankfully, because it was that bad. But you'll see in other videos what I'm talking about. So now we have thousands, I think it's 27,000 pages, all individual like this. So big change from before. There's a lot of call to action. So there's two up here. There's a book an appointment, which goes to this client's calendar. And then there's also a button to call now, which will directly dial the phone number to the person who is paying for this directory. All of these links, there's 700,000 in total between all the pages. That generates 700,000 unique words that we can try to rank for. So you'll see in here, we have emergency roof repair near me, Martinsburg, West Virginia. Over here, we have roof cleaning service. Then we have the city state. We keep going down. We got the company name that we're ranking for, home improvement. And all of these specific words. So if we take a look, we see AAA right here, and we open this link. We see right here, best roofer near Corey. It changed. We click into here, and now we have a new page, top roofing company near Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Click on another one. Not only did this change, but if we look here, professional roof overlay installation, local roofing contractors. That's a mouthful, but at the end of the day, that is what ranks on Google. And with all of these flashy call to actions, no one reads any of this. That's the reality. ChatGPT now just gives you information of a website and information that it thinks is accurate, but it's not actually reading most of this. It's just gauging the SEO power. So we keep going down, you'll see there's some random words like gutters. That's a very good thing because it just expands the overall reach. Keep on going. Got some more nice variations of word, full roof inspection, digital photos, so different services that would be offered. And we can go take a look at SEMrush. And we just look up best roof. Best roof is looked up 2,000 times a month. And the combination of best roof is searched 28,700 times a month. Now, let's just play around and type in best roofing. Well, We just went from 2,000 to 4,000, and it actually increased the variations. So between all 28,000 combinations of these words, 348,000 people monthly are looking up these words. So the whole idea is go as broad as possible, and not just go as broad as possible, have the tools to make massive, fast adjustments. One big thing that was pretty big is the fact that we can populate this at any speed. So any changes we want to make to a website, maybe you have a great idea of a different set of keywords. Someone, I actually can't remember what they said. That was a good keyword, but I'll think of it. For car accidents. Do you remember what that was, Hakeem? Remember that someone gave us that idea, and then I don't remember. But any of the, remember the car accident idea? There was a specific keyword to look for that we didn't think of, and we were like, oh, wow, that's a great idea.
Yeah, the police report about their car accident.
Police report, yep, right there. So you can see all these are the variables that are used. And we built our own deep AI system where constantly scraping the internet and constantly finding new patterns of words that we can put together. So right now, 13,000 different SEO terms, and the mapping just continues. I have to do plumbing next. I said that last week, but I'm actually going to do it today because I got everything else I needed done. But that's going to be the one that you'll see next week that's populated. And sure enough, someone will probably pay us for another one, and then we'll get on to that one. Probably going to be the car accidents. That's the next big hot topic. And then the same logic carries forward. Here's credit card processing, qualified high-risk merchant, #1 payment processing provider near me, New York. Best payment gateway providers near me, Santa Ana, California. And it just continues on and on and on and on. So if you have merchant cash processing, if you are a provider of solar, we haven't done solar yet. So we're charging $50,000 for the first one of the next person who comes to us. It's for 1 year, and you would get the whole country. So this payment processing guy is going to be paying $300,000. So for the contracting specifically, we're doing $50,000 because contracting is obviously very regional and local. So we'd rather work with one person that has a big reach across the nation, multiple entities, multiple companies, contractors, resources, because we think that's just how it's going to work best at first. Where if you're a payment processor or an insurance agent, you can be anywhere in the world or in the country and have a much greater market to serve with your licenses. So now we have auto parts, retail credit card processing, auto repair point for sale, banking services, bar and lounges for payment processing, point of sale system for people who sell bathroom exhaust fans, you name it, the combination is there. And we did not miss a single thing. It took me 5 months of not speaking with anybody for a very long time. And this was our outcome. It worked great. Now, if we go take a look at the actual results, roofing is killing it. Like roofing is doing much more than I expected. So originally with the boring roofing website, which we put up, let's see, we put it up exactly a long time ago, 5 months. And even with the website not being that great, these are our results. So we're getting 16 clicks in one day on the 29th, 14 clicks on one day on August 1st, another 13 clicks on the next day. So in the last 28 days, we've got 223 clicks. Today, is the first full day that this version has been updated with all of this sexiness to bring in the call to action and start generating money. Another one that we're going to start doing that someone has been asking for is timeshare. So that's actually going to be a very expensive one. People looking for timeshare exits and cancellations. So stay tuned for what we have going on with that. And I actually think I just realized what the right version was. Shoot. Any questions about the white label, about really anything? I mean, there's a lot of stuff. We can start at any point and just start the conversation for the next 20 minutes and leave it open for you guys.
Is there any new features on I have the $500 plan. I was wondering, I know you guys were talking on launching some more like data enrichment tools, and I appreciate, by the way, Brian, I appreciate your time today to show us all. Everything looks great. But yeah, I just wanted to see kind of if there's anything else that's kind of like on the basic plan, like what you got going on that's new.
So on the basic plan, the big difference, the main update would be that the white label, you're going to now be able to make a store instead of just a dashboard. So in the next couple of weeks, I'm told 1 week, but I'll just say a couple of weeks to give us some time. This is going to be a part of your white label, where if you serve a specific market, for instance, maybe you do home loans and you want to create a specific product for VAs looking for home loans. That is the possibility you can do that. So if you were to go into any of your databases and we go to, let's say, refinancing, we'll look at our refinance one, and I'm going to go look at the job title and I'll type in veteran or yeah. So we find 74 people who are veterans or have a job title, I should say, as veteran. So right here we see veterans benefit specialist, so they work for the government. Chief executive officer of a veteran-owned business, that would definitely be a candidate for VA loans for the home, for the specific carrying over of the rate. Another thing that we can do, I'm thinking, is you can also type in the branch of service, Army. There we find 69 people listed as in there in the Army, disabled veteran Army, U.S. Army soldier. Bear in mind, these people can be retired because not many, at least my friends personally, who are in the Army, do not update their LinkedIn that often. So very possible some of these guys are actually veterans. And what you would be able to do, so I'm going to go look at refinance and I'm going to go pull over the August one, the new one. So if this was a database that you were purchasing from us and you had all different clients that are looking for specific types of people looking for refinancing on their home, you have a strong ability to make those custom lists like I was talking about. So within the marketplace, you can go over to custom lists and you can make custom data products for every single list that you have. So if we were to go over to here, we'll go name it VA looking for refinance. Might take a refinance. What is the name? Refinance August. Let me just go find it. It goes in alphabetical order, so it shouldn't be that difficult. Right there, refinancing. And I'll put it as Army. We find the 37 we were looking at before. Create list. And I'm going to go create a few more just because I like the topic we're on. So I'll go back down to my refinance in August. When I can find it right there. Let's call it Navy. We might get Old Navy in here as a retailer. Go off, hit our create list. And what comes next? Marines. And then lastly, I'm going to do another one for veteran. Before I do that, I'm actually going to do active duty because eventually these people will be veterans at some point. Only 2 people, so I'm not going to. Actually, I will worry about that because they might not have Army or military in their name and they would be totally excluded from your search. And that's why I'm doing this, because when you're doing something that specific, you're going to have to look under every crack and crevice because it's there. Data is supposed to be messy, like it is. And only once you start doing the filtering, like I'm doing for, as an example, that's when you start building information. And that's when you start understanding everything that is going on within this entire subject. Because there's a lot to it that are. I'm going to do one more, military. Let's do the whole suite. I should also mention that you have the ability of using other people's filters. Like you see, there's a few different names. So anyone that has a white label, they can make custom lists. And if they choose to share it, you can add it to your white label. And that's not you paying them anything. It's just creative sharing of how people do filtering. Think of it like a GitHub to a degree of ideas. And I find another 73 military. Now, when we go back over to our refinancing tab, within the Find Your Audience, those new custom lists will load. And all you would need to do now is click on that specifically. So if you have a white label user, a client of yours, or even for yourself, you have a very clear-cut way of giving them a targeted service that makes them feel like they're getting helped. So I'm going to go take a look at job title. Retired military. So for instance, I didn't think about retired military. We got that one. Retired militaries. We have Army, so retired Army would have been picked up in there. Military police. And at the other extension, a lot of people have family in the military. So if you're reaching somebody active duty, very possible they have a family member in the same household or nearby that is retired. But this is definitely how I would do it. And further, if you want to try to expand the reach, this would be a very good example of doing targeted loans. Not targeted loans, targeted ads. All of these people have an ID that goes to them, and when you're on the internet, Google sees this ID, and because Google sees this ID, and if we program it in, now Google is able to show ads directly to you and that ID. In other words, you can put ads directly in front of these people. And in addition, one thing that is very beneficial is optimizing or doing a lookalike of this audience. So now you're not only targeting veterans, you're targeting veterans looking for different financial products, home loans, refinancing. And with the optimization, you're finding more people just like those people. So by doing so, you lower your cost. All the family members I was just talking about, you would be able to reach them in a very inexpensive, targeted way. And
I have one quick question.
Oh, yes, go for it.
So with these titles, is it also signaling if they're searching for a loan?
So this database specifically, yes. So there's two steps to it. Step A, what are they searching for? That's the first step. That's always the first step. Step B is, who are they? So in this instance, we did military, Army, Navy for people in this database. But if I went over to refinance in June, that is no longer there. So it only applies to that specific database. So I mean, you said real estate, August. So if we went to job title, military, this wouldn't be refinancing, but now these are people looking for real estate, second week of August, and 62 of them have their job title as military.
Nice.
But that's what I mean. There's a lot of steps, and like that's why I was mentioning almost like a GitHub type of environment with these custom lists, because there's another step. You can take the list you save, and then you can enrich it to a prior list. So if you want to go save this list of these people, you would be able to go to your purchase lists. And if you wanted to do some deep research and understanding truly what everyone is looking for, you can go click the internal enrichment button, and you would be able to compare, were they also looking for, I don't know, just a random thing, commercial solar? Probably not. Actually, we'll do something different. We'll do refinancing in July. So
I'm working with realtors and mortgage brokers.
What was that? I'm sorry?
I said I'm working with realtors and mortgage brokers.
All right, so let's go change that out. So mortgagers, brokers looking for real estate, what would be their intent?
Are you asking what's their intent?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's mortgage brokers just looking for borrowers.
A mortgage broker is looking for borrowers. So
yeah, so anybody
so
looking for
you would be a
mortgage or
mortgage
refi.
broker.
Yeah, so all those VA loans are great leads. I mean, that's you know, and then when rates go down, then they're gonna for sure want refi leads.
Yeah, exactly. So there's all different pools. Like this one's just for refinancing. This one's just for real estate buyers. So there's a lot of subcategories, and I'll drop this link for you in the chat because there's a lot. There's like 150 different categories just for real estate specifically.
Wow.
And
Now, this was an idea I had because my mom just became a realtor. Is she gets the lead for real estate, but then she has to have it qualified. So then she sends it to one of my brokers, so they can kind of share the same lead, even that it came across as a real estate purchase. But
got it. Yeah. So like these people this isn't people buying real estate. This would be people on a website in the last 7 days that offer home mortgages specifically. Or wanted to find people who were looking for Quarles and Bradley LLP. That's a total subcategory of mortgages. It's going to be a much smaller list, but you have all of this flexibility. People looking for a home. So these people on Zillow.
home search. Okay. What about commercial properties?
Yeah. So first thing I'll do is just get an idea of how many things we have for commercial. So I type in the word commercial, there's 680. Now, what gets confusing is you see investing strategies is a subcategory of investing in real estate.
Got it.
So we can get a little bit more specific. So that's commercial truck, Ford, F600, that's dope. So we'll type in commercial real, just to slowly narrow it down, surely, because some people have come in. Are you looking for a commercial real estate broker, or are you looking for a commercial real estate lawyer? The person looking for the lawyer might have a higher intent for more expensive purchases because they can afford a commercial real estate lawyer. So there's also those about this too. I mean, so I would say people looking for commercial mortgages might not have as much money because they need a mortgage versus the person who needs to pay cash to the lawyer. I mean, those are the ways I would think about it. And right here, commercial real estate is a parent category that would encompass a lot of all of these.
Okay.
Like this is leasing, commercial real estate spaces.
Do we have access to search these?
Yes, I just dropped this link in the chat within Google Meets.
Okay.
Yeah, so for $4.99, you get to pick one. Originally, we were telling people they get one set, meaning you can pick any amount of these to build one database, but it was getting too confusing for people. So for now, for the $4.99, you get to pick one. And for $8.99, you get two. And on the $8.99 plan, this is included. So the $8.99 plan is the two databases plus one application. So we're going to be releasing a lot of applications to visually see this data to really try to help out. And the $8.99 plan, it gets to include one of them, and this is the first one that's out. So that also includes the internal enrichment and by default. So whether you're enriching the addresses from here, or if you have your own data you want to upload, you would have both of those options.
Got it.
And this right here, this UI, in the next, I would say 2 weeks, this is going to be part of the white label. So all of these lists that we were just playing around with over here, if you eventually choose to set up a way for people to pay you to rebuy the data you're getting from us, those custom lists we just did, that is what you'll be able to place in that dev marketplace. That'll be your white label. So it won't have any avocados, it'll be all your stuff. So if someone wants to come in for refinancing and then they have all these specific questions of who they're looking for, you will be able to direct them specifically to the product, and they can check out and pay directly, and then that database would be created for them automatically in your white label. So we're getting it very seamless over the next couple of weeks finally.
Nice. My hard part is I need to come up with a business name. That's my hard part. I mean, I'm a great idea.
So what's the main thing you do? Mortgages?
You mean that I do or that I offer or service?
Like, what is the main services you
Oh.
do for specific companies that you're in this business for a while?
I would say mortgages, and then I know a lot of realtors, but I mean, so I'm kind of getting in there on the real estate side, but mortgages, and then I work with merchant service processors, but not just processing. It's more like the technology, and then I have one company now. They're doing like a rewards loyalty that they're going to be launching nationwide. So talking to them, they're needing um, they're they want intent, but they also want new businesses that are just filing their their tax or their corporation or business license. So I know that's a whole nother we've talked about in the past. I know that's a whole nother workflow where I would have to scrape the leads and then upload them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also thinking there's a better way. I'm not sure what their budget is, but doing a directory,
Directory.
Yeah, because
well, they're this company, they're looking at using ZimInfo, and probably just because it was the main company out there, and the guy had a great presentation, and the quote they had was $10,000, but when I did a quick search, and I've known someone else that had ZimInfo, they're limited on, like, I think each user can only download like 10,000 leads a month, or I mean 1,000 leads a month. And I could put the same limit on them, but because I kind of working with them on doing, I'm a sales rep with them. I would just give them unlimited.
Yeah, because you get 1,000 a minute, right? So every month you're subscribed, your limit increases by 1,000. So you can download as much as you want. It's just a quantity.
And that's per minute, you're saying.
Exactly. So everyone starts at 1,000, and then the next month they go to 2,000. The following month they go to 3,000. So even if you don't use the system 6 months because you're on vacation and you're taking a break, when you come back, your limit's totally doubled. So now you're able to offer $4.99 for one person or unlimited to break even, and then be able to branch out from there with more smaller packages.
Got it. And would I be able to? Can I give more than like one user access?
Multiple users? You can have unlimited users. So the only thing you're limited by, Better Business Bureau, is that his domain? I actually have to. I'm doing a webinar for someone in their white label. So let me. I'm gonna go load their white label. So they have like 100 users, and they've been paying the same price for the last 6 months, and their limit just increases.
Nice.
And this is their white label. They don't actually use the home screen. They just redirect everything to this. But they have about 100 users, and their list limit 6,000 a minute now. And they have all the flexibility to do the same stuff on the same $4.99 plan without paying any more money. And that's what we're different for the list limit. Like we were saying with ZimInfo, all these guys, that's where they throw out a little.
Well, this is a perfect time to jump in. So this has been fantastic. I love it when we get to kind of go through the fundamentals of the ecosystem. Perhaps there should be some one-on-one time set up with Ryan to kind of get him more squared away, but also invite him and everybody else to the other webinar that you're going to be doing about the white label. It's always helpful. These things are always helpful. We do like to try and keep these AMAs specifically to an hour. So I just wanted to kind of put a button on this, and we could close it up, and we could always just open up a secondary room if we need to. So Brian, if you and Ryan want to continue, and if anybody would like to join, perhaps we just pop open a fresh room. and then we can kind of cut this off and just go deep into that if you'd like. But I'd like to thank everybody for joining and participating. I think the weekly AMAs that we do here on Wednesdays is super important to the development of our ecosystem. And I think the questions and participation are crucial to that development and how we can improve. And it's always exciting when we get to kind of preview automation that we know has already been developed and is sort of being deployed right now, and knowing how, just from what we're showing you now, how the entire experience is going to continually improve, and part of that is because of everybody's participation. So thank you, everybody. Let's close up the AMA, and Ryan, please, like, get on the calendar or just reach out to us or Brian or whatever, and let's get you squared away, man. And let's get you on board. It sounds like you're ready to go, and like we just got to work with you to kind of figure out how to help you position it and package it up.
That's right. Well, I have two big companies that I kind of need like a demo that I could show them. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay. Well, let's work together to help you create that.
Okay.
Right.
Should I
Ryan,
that on the calendar?
Brian, do we have his
number? Just
do we have
message
his
me on
contact
WhatsApp.
info?
Yeah, I just dropped my number on WhatsApp. So I just dropped my number in the chat. So just message me on WhatsApp and we'll get a time together. I just have to finish a few things up now.
Sounds
And thank you, everybody. We'll be back next week. More things and later.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I'll message you now.